Welcome to the Dixie Doggers podcast. We're here to share knowledge and heritage. We hope y'all enjoy. For the best cut gear in the business, get with Dave Williams at Southern Cross Cut Gear. Make sure to use code Dixie Doggers for savings on all your Southern Cross cut gear. www.hogdoggear.com.
If you're buying or selling land, farms, or hunting property, these folks know land. Get with Phil Wilson from Georgia Land Brokerage, 678-791-3483.
777 Kennels, Advanced K9 Nutrition. Vertex K9 Essentials, Advanced K9 Nutrition, beneficial to all breeds. You can contact them at 979-206-3050. All right, everybody. We're here with we've got a guest from all the way on the other side of the big pond. We've got Adrian Brand with us tonight from Chasin Boar Tales podcast. This man is, I have listened, you're probably one of the only podcasts that I've actually listened to. I'm not saying it just because you're on here. Most of the time I don't have time, but I've listened to a few of them and I really enjoy it. It's because like you're a pig hunter and we're all kind of the same. We're brash, we're kind of rough around the edges and stuff. And I really like that. And, we can relate to each other, even though we're the world apart, So tell our guests out there that are listening in like 100 countries now. Got to say that. We got them all over the world. Tell them about yourself and what all you got going on your side of the world, where you're from and the dogs and all that good shit.
Yeah, right. Well, to start off with, I'm glad you're hearing it. It's good to know it's likewise going across the pond and we're able to tee this up. We're worlds away, but we've all got the same interests and loves. Mm-hmm. Myself, I'm from Mackay, Queensland in Australia, obviously. So Central Queensland, where I am, it probably hasn't got the biggest population of pigs, but quantity to quality, we're definitely up there. Definitely good pigs around this area. I've been hunting around 25 years now, and tried all sorts of dogs and that. Still, if anyone's listening to my podcast and that, I still haven't gone down the road of bailers or anything like that yet. Still very much want out dogs.
Hangers, yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Over the years, the style of dog and breeds of dogs we've ran here have definitely changed. Again, on earlier episodes, we've mentioned just how much the pigs themselves have changed in their temperament, I should say, with just more running. There's so much more running them. They're definitely more flightier than what they were when I first started. You could near just have a hanging dog and stalk up and drop a dog on a mob of pigs, and most of the time they'd mob up or fight or something like that. These days, yeah, you need that leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we run into. The hogs have changed a lot. And like you were talking about today, I took a bunch of young guys, some nephews and guys that are just getting started in it. And a couple of my friends from Hawaii, and we went to a property of ours, and it's so different from the property when we first started hunting it, 6 years ago, somewhere in there. 6 years ago, we didn't go more than a couple of 100 yards, a couple 100 meters, and we'd have hogs caught, no problem. Today, that one hog we ran at 9 miles before we got it bayed. Yeah. 9 miles. Now it wasn't straight away, of course, but that's how long it took. It took hours to get it stopped. And they have changed so much. So with that being said, on the hogs that run a lot, how are the one out dogs, the luggers, how do they work on that situation? Are they being able to stay in there long enough to complete the race to get the hog stopped? Or is it harder on them?
Yeah, it's definitely harder on a dog. Mm-hmm. But in saying that, I think we've gone, well, I know myself, I've gone from like away from the knucklehead sort of dogs to a breed of dog that me and a few mates that I've been playing with, and that they're Bully Dane Arab, and they just they've still got that grit in them where they're keen to have a good. They'll get in there and they'll tangle with any pig, but they just seem to be a bit smarter where they're not exhausting themselves on a pig. You go in there these days, they're not trying to fight the pig the whole time. They're a bit smarter. They're conserving energy. A lot of times, especially with the older ones, and when I say older dogs, around that, later 3, 4, 5 year old and that, I've been rocking up to the dogs, and they're actually, there's no bark or anything in them, but they're actually just sitting off the pig, and they know you're coming. And if the pig's not working anymore, they're just sitting back waiting. And as soon as they hear you or see you, they're straight back onto her again and holding up the pig until you get there and finish it with whatever you're going to do with it.
Yeah. We had a couple of dogs that were very similar to that. If they got pretty deep, like King and Hank, they would hold, but they would tuck to the side of the pig and just put their side to the side of it and just stand there. It maybe the hog would walk in a circle or something. They weren't stretched out fighting with it. They, like you said, they conserved their energy. And so for a long time, I ran those style dogs as well, and we were very successful with it. But then when the hogs got to where they were running, as soon as we would get on the property, they would break and run. So then the dogs were having to trail them and then be out a mile deep or 2 miles. And then we got to go through the mountains. There's no access roads. We just got to hoof it. And so it's like, man, you take a chance on getting your dogs, like you said, exhausted or cut down. So we went to a lot of the bailers, and it's took a little while for me to get used to it. I'm not going to lie. But now that we kind of know what it is and how to approach it, it's pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, just what you're saying there, I think the reason why I probably haven't had to is you're saying 2-3 miles, which, you're about 5 or 6 kilometers away here. Our dogs are a lot hotter scented dogs, and we've got I feel, especially where I hunt, might be a denser pig population. Where our dogs aren't having to travel that far, and then for us to get that distance, to back them up and that, we average. It could be anywhere from 300 to 800 meter fines.
Okay.
Well, I'm missing myself. Like all hunters are different in that, but that's sort of your average sort of fine from the ute for the dog to pull up, and most of that distance is quite open. You can sort of catch that up in the buggy or ute or whatever you're in, and you probably have a 200-300 meter straight run, not through any thick stuff. There are places where you've got the lantana and rubber vine and stuff like that, where that last 30 odd meters, 50 meters might take you a bit longer, but you're still on top of your dogs as such compared to what you would be doing that distance.
Yeah, ours is like where we're at right now. We're in the transition from flat land to the mountains. So we're in the foothills, and we might be at one property where it's pretty flat, and you've got, say, a couple of miles of flat territory, and then it just drops straight off 600 feet, 800 feet. And then, then you're in all these canyons and gorges, but there's no access roads at all. So when we get to the back of one of our properties, that's it. Like, you just stop there, and when you turn the dogs loose, you just got to go to them wherever they go. And so a lot of times we like the rougher dogs there. If we know we got a mob of pigs in one area, we might send a couple of the rougher dogs just to go ahead and snag one or two. And then when they bust up, then we put the bailers out,
Yeah, it makes sense.
Try to play it to our advantage, because if you don't, like today, thank God all those guys were in their early 20s and they were wore out. And me and Kioki, we sat at the truck and we just, did what old guys do. We laughed about it.
Like,
they did good.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like to class myself as one of the older blokes, but I do enjoy sitting back and watching the younger fellas run out and get to have a break.
Yeah.
We've all done it.
That's right. Yeah, that's
no, it's good.
But with I think that's one of our biggest differences is I think the pig population. I think that has a huge factor to play because certain states that we have, they have a really, really dense population. And so a one out dog just going out there and hanging them, it works great. But then there's other states where the population is very, very slim and it's hard to get a pig. And so, you got to kind of work with what you got.
Oh, areas. Absolutely. Even where I am here at home, there's ridges and ranges and that around here where I wouldn't want to go with my dogs just for the simple fact I know there's pigs there and there's some cunning old boars, and I do know a few other hunters that probably get a little bit bored and decide to take their, as we call, West dogs or more leggier hanging dogs, and just go down the road and try them in the mountains that are around here. And unfortunately, a lot of them dogs would pass just because them pigs have just brought them up. It's either too humid, too hot, or they've just copped that much for hiding before you can get there. And unfortunately, good dogs have gone to waste for silly reasons.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the reasons why we made the change. They were getting too far, too deep, and if we can't get to them in time, like you said, you blow a dog out and it's over for no reason.
Yeah.
When you have a really good dog, you could monitor it, maintain it, something a little closer, but it was really hard transition at first. I'm still getting used to it, but I like it. It's definitely different. I think the greatest difference is when you find one track, and it's just like that. I got a dog I can put on that one track. I don't care where he walked or when he walked. We're going to get him. We're going to get him jumped and we're going to run him. And that to me, now that right there, that work, that's good dog work.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Because that would be. My dogs will just look back at me and wonder what I'm pointing at.
Most of ours do. I've got one. I got one.
Yeah.
Some of these guys, they have whole packs of dogs. I get humbled every time we go visit with other people. They have dogs that are amazing, and I'm thinking, damn, I thought I had good dogs, and they're not. It is what it is. So tell us about these dogs that you guys have, the breed that you and your guys have been running. How did that come to be?
Well, if anyone's heard my my podcast and that, I've got a bloke who comes on. He's a good mate of mine, and we often joke saying he's 75, but he's getting close to turning 60. And any breed of dog that in Australia that we've used, that people have used, and that he sort of had to play with and a dabble with over the years. And for the last 6 years, we've been playing around with across. It all started from male bull terrier to a well-bred Harlequin Dane bitch, and we got the straight cross bully Dane, and they actually threw a good style, probably I don't know in pounds and that, but they sat around the 35 to 38 kilo. Quite leggy dog. They got the leg from the Dane, but still were quite, I won't say unhinged, but they were very, very full on with the straight cross. We diluted a bit more. We actually went, our first cross was with the male out of the two he kept from that litter. The male we put over a Warrego Arab bitch, which is a bull Arab here, and a breeder of bull Arab here in Australia. And that whole litter, just the size was a bit different, a bit of inconsistency with the size of the pups, but they all worked well. All had the right temperament we wanted, and we'd hang a bull out the piss. So We done the same cross again with the Bully Dane bitch to a Bull Arab dog this time. And same thing, a little bit of inconsistency with the size, and but all had the right characteristics. And we felt like we were getting somewhere. We've done that a few times, like with the Bull Arabs and that, mixing them into the Bully Dane cross. Started getting a bit of a pool together. And what's Rip? He's 6 months old. He's the first one we've actually line bred back. So the Bully Dane Arab from both sort of sides, and started, sort of doing a line bred dog as such. And I think there was a mix up with that litter. I think only five of them survived, and out of them five, three of them I know are already starting to want to hunt out and work really hard. I actually just got back from down Queensland border, southern border. There was meant to be a pig hunting comp on last weekend, but a water event, a rain event, I should say, postponed it to the following weekend, and I was unable to make it then. So we still went down the weekend before it was on, and battled against the rain, and still pulled out 141 pigs for the 3 days.
Oh,
and
my Lord.
and that turned that young pup. He was very impressive. The people who we went with, it sort of caught their eye, and I was happy with his. He had the brains and bravado to pull up anything, and as soon as the pig was down, he was happy to let go and run on to the next one, or jump up on the ute and go around for another look. So we were very happy with that.
Oh, I imagine so. Shit, I know I would be.
Yeah.
But it takes us, I don't know, most of the year to catch 140 pigs. Some years are better than others.
Don't get me wrong.
But
yeah,
that's a lot. That's a lot of pigs. But like I said, but you're going to where they're at too. I'm sure y'all, when you're doing comps, you have certain areas that you hunt more than others for competitions, or
that was down towards where the competition was. It was Mungandai border boar comp, and we were just outside of town there where we were able to hunt. And even the bloke that took us, that was a record for him as well.
wow.
Them numbers, they didn't come easy. There was a few sore dogs and a few sore blokes, but we managed to get them numbers, and come home, and the dogs, I think, are still sleeping.
You want to ask him something? You got anything you want
to add? He answered it. I just want to know what size the dogs was running. The only other thing I could think is, how do they handle the heat and humidity? How are they doing with that?
Look, they're not too bad. So I'm up here, like it definitely gets more humid where I am. So I'm sort of midway in Queensland. As you're sort of going up to the Cape, the tip of Queensland, or go across to the Northern Territory, it's definitely a lot more humid. But these dogs here, like I hunt them year round. I'll, middle of summer, you're not going to be floating around paddocks or something. You might play a bit smarter and just check a few water holes or something like that. But they are pretty good. But like any dog, they need to be conditioned for it. You can't just take them out of a pen and hope for the best.
That's right.
But all in all, I've definitely seen better dogs withstand the temperatures of North Queensland and that. But for hunting dogs, I can't really complain with the way they handle it.
Yeah, that's been one of our biggest challenges here in the Southeast where we live. Not just where we live, but just generally that whole area. It's a jungle climate. I mean, it's very humid. The temperatures in the summer, they're 100+ degrees, but the humidity is what's really bad. Today it was 90.
Yeah, absolutely.
Today's 100% humidity with all the rain, of course, but the other day it was 91% humidity and it was 92 degrees. And it was just
it
you're
stinking.
Yeah, it's so thick.
Come outside and it's just foggy during the day.
Yeah, it's and so when you're running dogs, like you said, there's a lot of guys that want to just take their dogs and just, well, they haven't hunted them in a couple of weeks and just throw them out there. I'm like, dude, like they need to be in shape. I feel like that's something that not a lot of hunters here do. Mm-hmm. They just let them sit up, and then when it's time to go hunt, they go hunt, and that's it. They're never in shape.
And then I had one other question. I remembered it. Oh, so when you was talking about them like going in there and basically if the boar hog's not working them over or anything, the dog will kind of just sit there and watch the hog. And then when y'all get close, then they'll go back and rehang them. Do y'all's hogs break a lot, or are y'all hogs pretty good about like not just bolting again? Because with ours, like even if our dogs are bayed, like if they hear a truck door slam or something, or you drive past them too fast, the bay's going to break and they're going to go again or something like that. So I just didn't know like the temperament of y'all's hogs.
Yeah, it depends. Not all dogs do that. Like I was saying, it's usually the older dogs and that they learn to chill out a bit and reserve their energy. And again, it's different areas you're hunting at. While I was saying that story, one place in particular I'm thinking of, there's a high dingo population there as well. So a lot of big boars and that will usually, they know not to try to outrun dingo. They'll just keep running them till they're stuffed. So you'll usually get a decent boar or something. He'll just pull up on a bank somewhere or on a tree root or, and just think, I'll just stay here until these dingoes give up. And that obviously the old pig dog, he won't leave it. And then, so once he realizes that pig's sort of not trying to run or bust out or anything like that, that's not like I said, not all dogs do it, but you get them older ones that sort of go, all right, I'll just sit back and regain my energy as well. And they'll sit there and wait.
Yeah, I think that would have
to definitely
too.
Definitely around home up in the ranges and stuff like that. Yeah, you don't sort of get that opportunity. I haven't really seen dogs sitting off pigs there, but also you don't sort of, if the dogs come out the cane and they bust up a creek or go up a hill, you sort of, you're running, even if they haven't pulled it up yet, because how it is warm up there, and a good chance you can wreck a good dog.
Yeah, that's pretty. One time we had a little Yog Terrier, one of the little Jags, and she had ran a hog so long. It's kind of the same situation you're talking about. This was a big sow. I mean, it was in July here, so it was dead middle of summer. And it was like 3:00 in the afternoon. We were trying to find her collar. Her tracking collar came all the way off. So we were riding around. I'm scared. I'm like, oh, look, this is my best dog. I'm like, oh, man, the worst is happening. And I heard her bark one time on the side of the road. I said, you got to be kidding me. So we stopped. And I go down there, and she is laid under this blowdown, a bunch of old dead trees from the storm. She was laid under there just breathing so hard. I said, damn, she's heat stroking. And then I heard the pig grunt. The pig was laying over there. The pig was just laid out in a mud hole. The dog was barking. The pig was laying down. The dog was laying down. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I hollered up there. I called out, and I was like, hey, turn some dogs loose. They go down there, and the old sow, she didn't have any fight in her then, And but it was just funny because that's what I picture when you're talking about this. I picture a dog's just sitting back like, hey, I didn't got to do all this shit. He's all right. Let him lay there, and I'll just take my time. That's smart, though. That's thinking. Yes. That's the old guy stuff.
It's definitely smart. Yeah, definitely. There's one dog I used to have, old Hammer. Now, he was way too big to hunt coastal. He was only a west dog, and he was half Great Dane. He was right at the very start when I first started playing with the Great Dane bullies. they were too large. I'm going back 10 or so year ago now. We've obviously made them smaller and had a better run at it. But he ended up being that smart, like how you cast out. I was actually able, if I seen a mob of pigs out in a paddock or something, the wind was blowing the wrong way, I could cast him out in the paddock and have a look around, pick up the scent and get me a pig. I could actually call him off. I could run past and call him off pigs if I seen something better. And he was fantastic of pulling pigs up and just holding them, like I was saying before, just standing off them. Like I said, not all dogs are like that, but when you do get one, it's very handy.
Yes.
And you definitely miss it when they're gone.
Yeah, that's the hard part. I was talking to a young guy this morning, so I told him he's got a little pup that's just, it's not going to make it. It's not a pup. It's 2 years old, and it's just not going to make it. And he's tried everything. And I told him, I was like, you can spend all this time on this dog that's not going to do it, or you can spend that same amount of time on one that will do it. And he was like, man, that just seems like it's a hard thing. I said, no, what's hard is when they give you 10 good years and then they can't do it anymore. I said, that's what's hard. I said, and then you miss it. And
absolutely,
you know what you had. And then you get all these other dogs and you're like, they're not doing shit. I had a great dog and now he's too old or he passed away or something, It's just, that's the hard part for me, is when they get old and you miss them.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Quick thanks to the supporters of the Dixie Doggers podcast.
Light Hounds,
Southern Cross Cut Gear,
Phil Wilson with UC Hunting Properties,
Rankin Ranch 38 Cattle Company,
777 Kennels Advanced Canine Nutrition,
and the old Boars N Broads.
Yeah, absolutely. You get them great dogs, and in the 25 years, I think I've probably had 4 or 5. But in saying that, and I've said it before, it's them average dogs that fill them gaps up between them too that people forget about, but they keep you honest and they keep you in the game. So, without them too, I know a lot of blokes that have had fantastic dogs, and when that dog dies, that's it. They give up. They knew how hard it was to get him. They've just give up the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so definitely got to rely on them, just them honest old dogs
that's right.
Just barely make the grade.
A lot of them can be good. Not all of them can be great.
Absolutely. And with this little breeding program, me and a couple of mates that I've been doing of recent, I just sold a dog, and it was a hard sale. It was a hard sale, but you just got to be honest with yourself when you're in this game. He was a beautiful looking dog. He was doing everything right, but I just knew he wasn't going to make that level that I want to have in my yard at the moment. And I moved him on, and the perfect scenario, a young hunter got him second night of owning him, went out and got a 100-kilo boar with him. So he's over the moon. So so that's a win for everyone, I feel.
Yeah, that it really is. And like you said, it's some of those instances there that it solidifies you about being honest with yourself, because like you said, you're like, okay, it's not going to make what I want, but it is going to make a dog. It's just not the same level. We all have different levels. And that's, I guess the older you get, the longer you've been doing it, the higher your level should be. And I think the same.
Oh, absolutely.
With the breeding program, if you're not getting better dogs every time that you breed, getting just a little better or getting what you want, then you're not doing it right. You're going the wrong way with it. So what's a good started pig dog go for where you're at?
Oh, look, that price is definitely going up. I just sold the dog I'm talking about. I just sold that Buster, and I've been out of, I don't buy dogs or anything like that. I've always just bred my own, or there's enough of I've got enough mates in the hunting community and that where we do like a bartering system as such between ourselves and always look after each other. So I didn't really want to get rid of this dog, but at the same time, I knew he wasn't going to make my level, and this young fellow was interested in one. I sold that dog for $1,000, and I actually had people saying I got rid of that dog too cheap. So, yeah. So I'm not sure what people sell them for, but
it's the same way here.
I think that would be like $1,300 US.
Yeah, that's
Australian like $1.23 or something like that, or like $1.30 to American.
So if
it'd be around that, yeah.
So for years, I mean, for many $800 to $1,000, you could buy a good dog, very good dog. But I'm the same way. Like I didn't really buy dogs. I wanted my own dogs, But and then when 2 years ago, and I had these were just run and catch dogs. Like they were just luggers, but they were good. They were getting a little older, slowing down some, and I don't even want to say really, but like $5,000 for a pair, and it's like they're good dogs and they're going to turn it out. And myself, I'm thinking $2,000 is more than enough. But these other guys are like, no, they're $2,000 or $3,000 a piece. I was like, what? It's been a long time since I sold any dogs. I was like, are you for real? But like a good cast dog, a good bay dog, $5,000-$6,000 that's where we're going to be starting, and it's getting out there pretty good. And a lot of it is because the hogs run so much now. That dog has to stay and run for hours at a time, and it's
a lot of people sell bad dogs. A lot of people just lie here. They'll just sell you some junk. So a lot of people, they would rather just pay more for the guarantee.
I don't see how people can do that.
Even the opposite way there. You bring them prices up, it's going to hopefully it'll stop a lot of like bullshit hunters wanting to buy it as well.
That's right.
One thing that I've always been worried about is selling a good dog to a young fella that I'm sure he's all keen in that, but will he back that dog up? Especially like the dogs like we have and we breed and that. If that dog's in a prickly situation and its new owner hasn't got the balls or the knowledge to get in there and help that dog out, that would be very disheartening for that dog to be put in that situation.
Yes. I think that's
because at the end of the day, definitely. They're all doing what they love, but they've all been brought up and trained to know I've got to hold this for a certain amount of time, and then my boss or the second part of this party is going to come out and help finish this job off. And if no one rocks up, then we don't know what's going to happen.
That seems to be one of my biggest issues. It's not really an issue, I shouldn't say, but I vet people. Instead of worrying about how much I'm getting for a dog or whatever, I will give somebody a great dog if it's the right person. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I get people that call, and I'm sure you do too. They're like, hey man, I'm looking for a dog, or if I put a dog on social media, they're like, hey, how much is that dog? That's not how you start the conversation. That's not how you start with me. And I was just curious if it was like that where you guys are, if it's a real cutthroat deal on like buying and selling dogs, or most people breed their own dogs and make them.
Oh, I don't think a lot of people do it. Maybe a lot of older hunters and that. And I'm sure, like you were just saying, a lot of garbage and that people sell as well. You've got to be careful with buying and stuff. And we will go back to all my mates and that we sort of keep our pups and we breed our own and that, because there is so much garbage out there. We spoke about it. I think it comes out with that Baden's podcast. We're talking about the likes of the Bull Arab now.
Oh, the Baden Criddle? In
Australia. Yeah.
That guy right there, listen, you got to watch him. He's got those yellow dogs. He's got those black mountain curs, And
he showed us a bit of them the other week.
Yeah, he's got them, and he thinks he's got some pretty good dogs. He's gonna come up. He's coming back over here next year. He went with Rusty last time.
Yeah.
He's gonna come. He's coming with the big dogs. I'm gonna show him what armadillos and possums are. I'm gonna show him how trashy dogs really work.
Well, hopefully everything settles down with the price of fuel and everything, all the rest of the dramas that's happening around the place. And I'm hoping to jump across and be over your way in March and that for Uncle Earl's as well for 27.
Don't do it.
That's a plan at the moment.
Are you going to bring that damn Bundy rum too? Are you going to be drinking that?
I heard there's none over there, so you might have to.
Oh my!
Don't you like it?
Oh God! Let me tell you something. That shit about killed me. I'm talking about it was like I drink. I'm not saying I make moonshine, but like we drink moonshine. And it's very, very stout. But I was like, it was 7:00 the next morning. They were like, here, let's drink some of these mimosas or whatever they were trying to make. What a mimosa? What was it? It was something with orange juice or some kind of shit. I was like, all you're doing is get drunk. Like, that's all we're doing all day long. Hell yeah. And dude, they can drink. Like, they can drink.
Yeah.
I was like, I said, something's wrong with y'all guys. There's something wrong with you. No, come on. It'll be a good time. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope it all comes through. The missus, or the accountant, I should call her, she's given it the tick of approval, so it's looking good.
There you go. Yeah. That'd be a good thing.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sorry, I got you off on a whole nother thing there. We were talking about the
bull Arabs and that. Yeah, just with them dogs and that, like, they're sort of known as the Australian pig hunting dog.
Yeah.
At what I've been told, and that from overseas and that from different people. And unfortunately, early 2000s, it just is a big want for that breed of dog, and too many people were breeding them for looks and that instead of their ability. And man, it got bad. It was just every man. It was like a tow ball. They're on the back of every ute, and I think only a small percentage of them were worth feeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That tends to be an issue here as well with certain breeds. They'll get popular, and man, first thing they do is they want to buy a pair. They don't care where they come from, whether it's and a lot of it is an imported dog is the way it starts out. And then they just ruin it. Like the Yog Terriers, I started with them about 20 years ago, and the first 8 to 10 years was phenomenal. And then it went to complete shit. I mean, we were watching them sit there and bay a little pig, and I was like, they should never bark at it. Like, why are they barking? And people were like, oh, well, they're young. I was like, I got 5-month-olds that are tearing each other's ears off. Like, these little jumpers are badass, Patterdales and Russells and all that, hard little dogs. And they just watered them down. And then you see them pop up for sale, $300. I'm like, no, that's not how this goes. And they ruin them. Yeah. They ruin the breed.
A soft person cannot make a hard dog.
Nope. That's right.
No. That hard dog will end up being the alpha of that pack.
Yes, sir.
Well and truly.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
So what do you feed your dogs? What kind of dog food do you have? Do you kibble or do you feed?
No, I definitely do a kibble. Kibble it definitely changes. I dare say it's always like the likes of like your cobbers and Duro, different dog foods and that. I swear you'll be on a winner. You go, this is great and that, and probably 6 months later they must change the recipe or start putting less whatever else is in there, and the dogs you start seeing their coats looking a bit more strawy, or they're not getting their solid stools, and so you I'm always rotating kibble, but as I've gotten older, kibble's more of a filler as such. I do a lot of chicken frames, a lot of brisket, a lot of mince and that with the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to go as far as like your rice and veggies and stuff like that, or do stews and that. We don't get it that cold here where the dogs lose too much condition in that weather. But I definitely like to put a bit of meat and bone. And the chicken frames, they're fantastic. After a hunt and that, the dogs sort of bounce back a lot more. I must be all the fats and that's still on them. And and the coats always look great. One thing that I'm not sure if you've heard of, Dan and Nat from Boring Australia. They're pretty big on their YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm familiar with them.
I've had them on the podcast and that. And one thing that they've done over the years while they're out hunting that is they have cat food, like just your tunas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they feed that to the dogs while they're out hunting that. If it's a 4 or 5 day innings, it keeps the dogs, all them fats, and it keeps the dogs from dropping where their weight and that as much as what they would usually just being on the biscuits.
That would definitely work. We
like canned mackerel and stuff.
Yeah, I was fixing to say,
done it for puppies, but
we've done it, but
fed it for grown dogs.
We've never done it like when we went on hunts. A guy that we used to hunt together a long time ago, he knew somebody that worked in a butcher store, and he would just go get these big boxes of just fat, beef fat or pork fat, either one. And he would put it in just Ziploc bags and stick it in the freezer, freeze it. And then when we would go on these hunts, 3 or 4 day hunts, he would just take those bags, thaw them out, and just give each dog just a handful of just nothing but fat. And man, it, like you said, they bounced back. They didn't drop a lot of weight. Their coats still looked good. They didn't dry out. They didn't seem to dehydrate, as much. It really worked. And we try to do that as much as we can. We've got a lot of supplements we use now, and it helps. We got some new stuff that we haven't used it yet, but we're going to transition to it. Work with Galen. He's going to come over, and he's basically a dog nutritionist, and he's going to come look at the dogs and say, this dog needs this, this, and this. And so I'm all for it. He said, I won't charge you nothing to come over and evaluate him. I was like, shit, come on. Hell, I'll take whatever I can. Yeah, that'd be great to have somebody else look at him that knows if they need something else,
Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm sure you're the same as myself. For me to get the 4 days off to go for a hunt, there's a lot of juggling around with your personal life and work and family and all the rest of it. So if you're out for that time, you want them dogs to perform as well as they can. I took on what Dan and Nat from Boring Australia said, and that last hunt I went out, I just had they were dollar tins of sardines. Yeah. And I just grabbed the whole box, and after every hunt, I'd just peel one of them open and just give it to the dogs, knowing that I was going to hunt again in the next, say, 3 or 4 hours. I didn't want them to have a lump of kibble or anything like that. So I just gave them sardines, and the performance them dogs gave me over the longevity of that trip was definitely better. It was definitely worth doing.
That's something we're going to look into that right there. Because like you said, you can buy some of that stuff really cheap, and if it would help our dogs, especially the hot time of year, because like you said, you don't want to feed them a lot when you're on a hunt. You don't want to get them all, and then they're going to shit everywhere too. So you don't want to deal with all that. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, them larger breed dogs that we've got and that we have had issues. Not myself as such, but I do know people and that have had issues with bloat and that. Just having their stomach give way and rotate inside there. And hopefully it's like, well, I'm no vet in that, but I've heard where it can just contract, and you can usually feed like a hose or something down there to release the gases, and hopefully it sort of just relaxes. But when the whole thing flips over, it's either surgery or the dog. Dog dies.
Yeah, and the bigger dogs, I've heard of that before. I know here a lot of the guys that coon hunt with the coon hounds and stuff, I know several of them that have dealt with that. I've never dealt with it personally that I know of, but it's still something to pay attention to, no doubt. So, what kind of parasites do you guys have to deal with over there? Like worms, fleas, ticks? Do you have to deal with a bunch of that?
Yeah, we've got them all in that. I haven't had an issue with fleas for a lot of years. My dogs' kennels are up on concrete, and I don't even treat for fleas. I haven't had fleas here for a long time. If I did have one come in, I'd jump straight onto it. I'd get some of that front line or something like that, just put it across the back. With ticks, you get your bush ticks and stuff like that, obviously, in that. But we've got the paralysis tick over here. I'm not sure if you have it in that, and that will wipe a dog out. They'll start getting a bit wobbly in the arse end, and I've actually had, in the last 12 months, I think they sort of had a bit of an outbreak here, and I know about 3 or 4 dogs. People that were checking their dogs and they still just missed them. I think one was up in the gum, another one was deep in the ear, and poor buggers. Just didn't get to them in time.
Yeah, that's.
What else do we have? With worms, I think worms are the same as everywhere. We got your tapeworm, you get your hookworms and that, which are really, really bad for young pups and that. You sort of got to make sure you keep the worming up if you've got it in your area. I've seen a lot of good litters go to waste and that from people not worming their younger dogs correctly.
Yep.
The biggest thing I've done for a lot of years now, I've used the oral sheet wormer, ivermectin or osmectin, it's called now.
Yeah.
And I worm my dogs monthly with that. It doesn't cover tapeworm, but it does all other worms. And the best one I love it for is heartworm. We've got a lot of mosquitoes and that around here and that, and heartworm is definitely prevalent, and a lot of people have lost their dogs. And it's it's just that hidden killer that you don't realise till that dog's 4, 5, 6 year old. It's coming good, and all of a sudden it starts losing that energy, gets a cough, and when you're starting to realise, a lot of the times it's too late.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that we have to deal with that a good bit.
Yeah,
we definitely treat for the heartworm. We do the same, pretty much the same thing. We got a new partner new business we've partnered with is called thebestdogproducts.com, and like he has several different medications in the pill form, like the prosimectin and different ones, and it's basically you give it to your dog as a preventative as well. He's got a lot of stuff like that, so if you need anything you want to try, y'all can check him out too. It's just
absolutely.
He sent us some stuff to try, and then like I said, we just partnered up with him, but everybody that I've talked to has been satisfied with it. I haven't had any negative reviews on it, so I was like, I definitely want to try it. We usually keep around 30 dogs on the yard, so you got to stay on top of it, because once it starts, it just snowball effect.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, basically.
So that
sorry.
You're all right, mate. Keep going.
What I was doing right now to kind of like test it to make sure everything's working good is I got this set of dogs that I'm only using his products, and then a different set where using our regular protocol that we have with those medications. So, I mean, far I gave the first round like last week, and they seemed to everything be fine. So it didn't kill them. So, doing good.
That's good. And you've sort of got to find that happy medium too, because we all want something to work, but you also want bang for your buck. Like in your situation, you got 30 dogs. If you're bringing them dogs in the vet to get their annual heartworm injection, it's like $300 a pop here or something like that. It's ridiculous. So there's a lot of little secrets out there that I'm sure vets and other people in that kind of world don't want you to know. And if you stumble on it, definitely use it. The old fella I was talking about earlier, Marc, he got me onto that osmectin or ivermectin and that with the worming and that. Now, where he lives, he's got like almost a swamp sort of set up at the back of his place, and mozzies in the right time of year are terrible. And he has dogs, 14, 15-year-old at the back there, no heartworm, no coughing or anything like that. And that's all he's ever given them.
Yeah. That's what I started out using, was just the agramectin here, and I did that for years. And that's when I would only have, like, say 5 or 6 dogs, no more than 8 or 10, and everything was good. That's the only thing I really needed. And then after I started getting more dogs, and I would bring a pup from somebody else in and all that, it seemed like I started having to deal with more shit then, started bringing other stuff on the yard. So now we've got everything situated. It's like, I really don't want dogs from anybody else. It's nothing against them. It's just, we got it the way we want it. We like to keep it like that, And I mean, we don't have the best dogs. We just try to keep it stable, keep it steady and consistent.
Yeah. It's it's definitely like that around here. Even with that, keeping things separate, and you don't want other dogs. And I don't know, do you find when you have like a litter of pups and you get Joe Blow come in and they've got dogs themselves, and, oh, can I have a look at your pups? And I say, yeah, look from far, mate. I don't want you. I don't want you touching them or anything like that. I don't know what's on them, and that, especially if you've got it's a litter that you've sort of been banking on, has finally come across, and that they're like, they're confined. And I was allowed near them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, we ran into that 2 years ago or 3 years ago. We were doing a favor. A guy called, he was like, hey, you're going to be in Louisiana. Can you pick these pups up for me? Give them a ride back. No problem. We never got them out of the dog box. I said, we're not getting them out of the dog box. You come get them tomorrow. I'm getting here. We didn't leave them in the dog box all week, nothing like that. But I was like, I don't want to get them out. Well, it's going to be, I said, that's fine. They just stay in the dog box. We'll feed, we get them out, play with them, keep them up here in the front of the yard. Literally, those dogs started dying that day by the time nighttime fell. I had never seen anything like it. It was the worst salmonella. It was.
Oh, right.
I've never dealt with it. It was horrible. And I had a little bull terrier pup. Mm-hmm. She was up here at the front, the closest one. Same thing happened to her.
Yeah.
If we'd have had them dogs back any further, or if we'd have waited another day, and the guy called, thankfully, the guy that originally got the puppies, he was in Louisiana. He called. He's like, hey, I got home. He said, there's something on the yard. And we went out and checked those puppies. Yeah. And I was like, dude, one of them, they acted kind of sluggish. And I was like, well, traveling and stuff. It was like a 7-hour drive. But literally a couple of hours later, it was horrible. And after that, I was like, I'm not there. They can't be any more come here. None. Yeah. Because that little bull terrier, she was going to be my outcross. I had been waiting on her for several years. And I was, like you said, one I was banking on. And I was like, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
And some people get, they get a little shitty about it, but it's like, well, if you don't care about your dogs, that's on you. But I care about what I'm doing, and I'm not dealing with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of them things, like my old man, he's not a hunter. I'm the first person in my family to ever do anything like this. I sort of just went off on my own. And, he had this American Bulldog bitch, nice bitch and that, and he bred her. He bred her just to have some pups and that, and they would have been 2 weeks at home, and just not being around a lot of dogs. That's just his own pet dog, and didn't understand a great deal about what's out there as well as in diseases and that. He actually picked up this little 7-month-old, or not 7 month, little 7-week-old, a bit older than his other pups. He found on the side of the road. Yeah. This little brown dog, felt sorry for it. He brought it home. Oh, and he brought that home, and I think a week later or something, he was heading off on a holiday or some shit, and he wanted me to look after these pups he bred. I said, yeah, Dad, no worries. I brought him in, and in that time, that other dog had died, that little dog had died, and whatever it had, it was almost like we got 2 of them tested, and the test come back. It wasn't parvo, but the symptoms were very similar to it. Lucky I had them in a section. I've got a bit of land here, so I had them away from all my other dogs. That I wiped out. I ended up having to, I think 2 died, and I just ended up tapping the rest because, you could see they were heading down the same way. And I bleached everything all around my yard and that. And leading into, so that's a few years ago now, the next 2 years following that, after the cleaning, any pup I was getting with my mates and that, I was getting them get the vaccinations and everything at their place, and they weren't coming home. Yeah. You're all excited to get your pup, but I wasn't getting them anywhere between, 8 to 12 weeks. And luckily, thank God, I haven't had no issues from that. But, if I,
that's
wasn't around doing this sport as long as, absolutely. If I would have chucked them in me run with it, just caged them up inside the run with the other dogs, one place, it could have been terrible.
Could have been bad. We had to deal with coccidiosis. Do y'all have to deal with that?
No.
It's
What's that?
very similar. The symptoms are just like parvo, very similar. But now it doesn't matter what age the dog is. Like it doesn't.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yep.
Now Nate knows more about it.
So basically, it's mainly through like birds and stuff like that. So a lot of times, anytime we've ever had any issues, it was like during the spring or the fall migration of like birds, and basically a bird would come like sit on the edge of the water bucket and shit in it, and then they would drink it or something like that, or to get bird shit in their mouth somehow, and like you won't really notice anything. They just kind of act sluggish, and then like they might have just like a little bit of blood in their stool, or like you get mucusy, but it don't really have like, how like parvo has that very distinct smell.
Ooh, we all love that smell.
This one's not quite as strong. It's a little different, but you'll notice like a little smell, and you'll notice like this mucus. And it might be like yellowish or orange. It's not like quite full on blood, because with parvo, like when they start shitting blood, it's bad. And then like it can go from that to they are just dumping blood, and they will just get it's very similar. Like reasons why they die from parvo is because they get anemic or they get dehydrated. But basically, like this parasite has like these little eggs in it. They just stay in the intestine tract. And so they can get in a grown dog or anything, and then they can live in the ground for like, I think like 3 or 4 months, and then like reinfect. And so it can be a real pain. That's why we built. So once we started having issues with it, we built individual dog pens up off the ground. So like we have a 4x8 kennel, and it's by itself, and then 4 foot away is another one. And we got 2 runs of that.
Right. Yep.
And that has cut down on everything.
Yeah, it's helped a lot.
Yeah.
And we're fixing to build some newer ones. Mm-hmm. Hopefully pretty soon.
But the treatment's not bad. You can use cord. So like they have like the powder stuff that you can give to cattle here. A lot of people give their cattle that. Or they have the liquid. And we just always use like 1 milliliter treats 20 pounds. And I usually do it right around our springtime. I only do it a couple times a year, or really just keep an eye on it. If I notice like a stool change of anything, like I said, that yellow mucus or a little blood, I'll worm them and give them cord, and usually no issues.
So it's not as doom and gloom as what the parvo virus is as such. If you get on top of it, you're sort of right.
Yeah, it'll be a lot slower. And you just, like I said, you might not notice anything. It might be a week, it might be 2 weeks, but then by the time, like if you don't know what it is and you don't know the early signs, like you might just be like, well, they must have ate something weird or something like that. And then like you go out there and the dog's dead. And you're like, what happened? And then it'll look kind of very similar to the way a dog would die from like parvo. So, it's very preventable, but if you don't know, then it can bite you in the ass real quick.
The first
we've had a few dogs around.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we've had a few dogs around here and that have, they just, drink a bit of stagnant water or something like that. And you get them home, you haven't really picked it up. After the hunt, they're fine. And, yeah, a day or two later, it's starting to get temperatures, starting to crash a bit. Nothing but antibiotics, that helps and that. That sort of gets you, especially if it's a good dog, you sort of get a bit worried and what the hell's going on here? But, the vets have either come in or you sort of start realising yourself now where you've been hunting that's what they've probably picked up. But there's a lot of shit out there that wants to kill them.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was that other one, Kevin? Blue-green algae.
Yeah, blue-green algae poisonous.
Yeah. We've got that here.
You do? Okay. We've never dealt with it. And some friends of ours in the next state over, actually, they went to South Carolina is where it happened at. And his dogs were...
It was like real
dry. Everything's real dry. And all the water was stagnant. And so one of the dogs was baying hog. And so they went to it and it showed the other ones were bayed. And then they got there and the dogs were like, having seizures and all kinds of I think he lost 4. I think it was 4, his main dog, his best dogs. And then one of the other guys, he lost a couple. I think it was like 7 dogs altogether. I want to say that hunt. That hit him hard. Yeah, that was bad there. I'm thankful that we haven't had to deal with that, but it could happen at any time, of course,
I think we've had some dogs get
Giardia absolutely.
Before.
Yeah.
Do y'all have Giardia over there?
If we do, I don't know about it. No. What's that one?
From here, like we have beavers, so mainly just comes from them. I think it has something to do with like the fleas that they get on beavers, and it kind of just like a bacterial infection. It just causes like issues with their stool. It's similar to like the coccidiosis parvo, just not as severe. But like if left untreated, like it can kill it. But fenbendazole kills it. So if you use like fenbendazole wormer just to treat for like roundworms, whipworms, then you should be fine. So
yeah,
that's pretty wild though. It's
bloody dogs.
Yeah, I was going to say there's so much shit we go through with them, So and it's very similar, in the same areas you guys have. Y'all have a lot of the same things. So, what about tracking systems? Are you using Garmin?
Oh, I am. I use the Garmin. I'm getting close to updating soon. I've got the T5s with the Alpha 100. I've actually gone through. I'm on my 3rd Alpha 100 handpiece. The LED screen on it starts dying. So I'm on my 3rd one there. I love Garmin. I'm happy to keep with Garmin, but there is a couple of different brands that's starting to pop their head up and that are extremely cheap compared to the Garmin and that. So I dare say Garmin might have to do, I don't know, might have to, absolutely they're going to have to do something because I know a lot of people that have been talking about like these Chinese brands. I can't remember, I don't even know what they're called. I can't say what they are. And that.
It's called
that's what I'm hearing about.
Well, there's some guys that are that I know and they really, really like them. We went to the dog truck and I will never have another Garmin. Like this thing is, some people don't like it because it goes to your phone, but it also has a handheld compass. You can have 2 separate ones, but you don't have to have cell phone service. First of all, everybody's like, oh, well, you don't have to have cell phone service. I picked dogs up the other day. Usually here, if we get 1.5 miles, 2 miles, that's phenomenal. That's with the long range antenna hooked up on a Garmin. I picked Rick up the other day at over 5 miles just on a regular antenna, and then we drove around. We drove 37 miles around on the other side of the river to get him, and I could see on the map where he was in a dog kennel. Somebody had picked him up. That's no joke. I said, there's a set of dog kennels there. Rodney said, how do you know? I said, I'm looking at them. I was like, holy shit, dude. Like,
clear.
It's clear.
And that's dog truck.
Yeah, the Pathfinder 2. We haven't had any issues, man.
And when you update your collars, you do it through the app. So it'll say like, check for an update. You hit check for an update and it goes through your handheld and all your collars and it says update available. You click it It connects to it. You don't have to plug nothing up. You can update it there before you hunt.
Right then, every time.
It'll do it in a minute or two. Really enjoyed that. It picks up quick.
Yes.
Because we had to leave a dog one night. He kept coming like 100 yards, and then he would see us and he'd run back out and go hunt. And it was like, well, we'll let him spend the night. We'll come pick him up. He's far out here in the middle of the woods. Put his shirt down. And so I drove back the next morning to get him, and I was like a mile and a half away, and like I turned the system on and everything, and it picked him right up. I was like, okay, I really enjoyed it. Because, you know, with Garmin, a lot of times it's going to take a while to just
it takes a bit. Yeah. Funny you say that with the dog trust. So I reckon, easy. Last 20 years, I've had the dog training collars. I've got old ones there that probably just need new batteries. I've replaced batteries a few times in them over the years, but I've got the what are they called now? It's the four colored buttons. Whatever it is, the dog to training collar.
Is it Sport Dog?
Man, I'm no, it's I'll have to I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's I've often said, I wonder what their tracking gear is like, because I can get over a kilometre, like, you know, training a dog. There's no aerials or anything on them training collars, and they always pick up. They work a treat, and built solid too.
Yeah. We haven't had, like I said, we haven't had any issues, but I do know that for a fact that there's over 50 other people that have changed to Dogtra since we did. And they that's what they did. They were like, we're going to see how you guys like it. And I was like, well, yeah, let me be the guinea pig, you know. And I'm like, look, I hate technology. I don't like it. You can ask, like Nate usually has the system. I don't even look at it. I don't know where the dogs are. I'll know when they pull up. When they got a hog pulled up, that's where they're at. And that's where I'm going. Other than that, they need to do their job and I'll do mine. And so it's like
I get in trouble often. Yeah. I get in trouble often when we're out hunting. Someone will go, where are the dogs? Oh, hang on. And I'll be turning my handpiece on. I'll connect them all at the start and then I'll turn it back off. And if I start getting worried, I'll turn it on. But most of the time, I won't even turn that handpiece on.
No, they're doing their job. They're out there hunting, like you said. But it has been. We had a really, really good young dog, and he wound up. He got ran over. We couldn't pick him up. It was just the worst thing. And I was like, I'm never going to get caught like this again. You know, and I think we had just got the dog through that time, didn't we? But like I was still running the Garmin. I still had my Garmin stuff. And I was like, I'm never going to use it again. Just for the clarity factor. You don't have to have a map card. You know, here we get a map card, you know, and it shows all the detail. You can download or upload 7,000 acres at a time. And it's in very, very vivid detail. The saturation on your phone, you know, which Garmin does have the Garmin Explorer app. And I've had people, they argued that side of it. And I'm like, well, look, here's the deal. If I pay $800 for a handheld, I don't want to have to get the phone too, so I can read it.
Yeah.
So to me, that defeats the purpose. So if I'm going to use the phone, I'm going to pay $200 for the handheld. These are half the price. I mean, half the price, at least, or less.
I think like one collar and a handheld is like $400.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a collar. And,
really?
Yeah, and the transmitter. Yeah. Now you can buy the handheld.
Yeah,
compass. Right. The compass is kind of like the Garmin 550 or something like that. It's just the compass, shows the yardage and stuff, but it has your tone and correction buttons on it. I think it's around $500. But like you can't buy the new 200 or the new 300 Garmin. A Garmin 300i is $850, and it doesn't come with a collar. You know, used to you got the combo. Yeah. Now it's $1,100 to start.
And I think a collar's like $265 or $280, something like that. It's less than $300, and that's track and train. That's not just a track.
Yeah, I thought it was like $230. Yeah. That might have been our price.
Yeah, that was the price. Okay.
But anyway, like I said,
and we're all mainly old pig hunters, you know.
Yeah.
haven't got that deep of pockets.
Shit, no. I wish I did. My pockets are deep as hell, but they're empty. There ain't nothing in them. I probably got a rock in them. Let's see what I got in my pocket today. Let's see.
I got sweatpants on.
Check out this rock, boys.
Oh,
Y'all thought I was bullshit, dude. I pick up a rock every day. That's how much got like 4 or 5 holes in it. Look at that. I don't know what it is.
There you go.
That's all I got. I ain't got no
It's
money.
good enough to make the pocket.
Somebody tries to rob me, they can have this rock or I'll hit them right in the fucking head with it. One of the two. No, but yeah, we're all trying to save a few bucks, best we can. And at one time you couldn't have pried me away from Garmin. I really do, and I still like Garmin. I like everything, the setup. I like everything about it. But I don't know how it is there, but it's getting to where we just can't, they don't pick up.
There's always an issue.
At 400 yards, I mean, how can you lose a dog and we did it that one day. I was doing some videos, comparison videos. I had an Alpha 100. I had a 200 and a 300. The 100 did way better than the new ones. Now the Alpha 100, we haven't had not many issues with that in the older TT15s or the TT10s. The T5s always pick up. The T5s, it seems like they always pick up better. I don't know what it is, and now Garmin is saying pretty much, piss off. We don't want to do any exchanges or anything. They just put out a thing. Was it last week? Did you see it?
Yeah, where like you have to send it into Garmin. You can't go through an authorized dealer to return anymore.
Now you got to go straight to them.
Yeah.
And when I first...
Well, I've just emailed them in the last week because I got 2 T5s there that they're just not working anymore. And I was just, wanted to see if they'd do that changeover that you often hear about. I've never had to do it, but I thought I'll give it a go. And I haven't heard anything back as yet. But for that distancing and stuff like that, I was talking to one of the sale reps of Garmin here. I was at an opening of a gun shop or a hunting supply shop a few months ago, and he was saying the actual devices to make regulations in Australia, they have to be dumbed down so much. And, they were saying the devices themselves are able to do so much more, but legally can't. I'm not sure what's like over there for you, but yeah, that's the big issue here in Australia. And I'm not sure about them Japanese ones or Chinese ones and that. And I'm sure the dog crew would have it sorted. They've been around for a while, but hopefully they, you'd hate to start getting them all and then they just go, we can't use these and wipe that frequency out or whatever they do.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot of dead money.
That's my only concern with the EC. But they're made in Taiwan, so that might give the pass there. I don't know, because I know a couple companies that I interviewed with and discussed with, like they talk about getting drones and stuff like that, and they do like land surveying sometimes of like public lands and like national parks. And so basically they could get a Chinese drone for half the price of an American drone, but they would have to debug it basically because a lot of times China will just put a little chip in there and it's like, send me all this information you take.
Yeah.
And so then they would have to send it to basically somebody who worked on drones for the military or basically like a military-based service and get it more up-to-date technology-wise before they could be permitted to fly it for like some of these natural park or like public land surveying projects. So definitely that was one concern that I had with the EC because basically something going south and they're being like, they're spying on us with this. You can't have it no more.
Wade's become a dealer now. Wade Holcraft, he's become a dealer here. He has the hound recovery antennas. And he's become an EC dealer. And I asked him, I was like, what do you think about it? And he said, man, he's getting 9 miles. I was like, that's, of course, Garmin says, picks up 9 miles. I've never had Garmin. I have had them at certain times get several miles with a long range antenna in perfect conditions, 3 or 4 miles, but I've never had them really do much more than that. But it's also the area we live in. And one of the main places we hunt, I couldn't tell you how many guests come with us and they have Garmins and their Garmins just will not work. They just, I don't know if it's a magnetic field, it's a bunch of coal mines and gas wells, natural gas and energy stuff. And so I don't know if it's got something to do with that or what, but they just don't work.
Yeah. I know with the Garmins I use around here, you do get a couple of dropouts around, like you said, depends. I've gone through a couple of creeks or whatever else. I've had issues where they drop out around that 800 meters. I don't think it's been very rare. I've seen anything over 2 kilometers. It's usually a question mark, but 1.6, 1.8 question mark. Yeah. That's pretty much all I get. Look, without it, I probably would have lost a lot of dogs. So it's just you keep going towards that question mark and then bang, you'll pop up again.
Yes.
It's still good. But what you were saying about the mines and all that stuff, I know, like, I've got a drone as well. And if I set it up here at home and have a play with it, I could probably get 700-800 meters and it'll start pixelating and start carrying on. I go out west, I can get 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers easy with that same drone.
Gotcha.
So there's definitely something with Yeah,
that's like I said, with the technology we have now, it's definitely made it a lot easier for us. Customer service has really gone downhill. That's the main thing I seen with the whole Garmin situation. When I guess in like 2005 to 2010, I could just call Garmin. It's like, hey, I got a collar that got, say a hog bit it or busted it, or it got ran over or whatever. And and then they would just send me another one. It didn't cost anything. There was I sent them the old one and they sent me a brand new one.
Yep.
Completely just.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And it was, like I said, I was sold on Garmin for many, many years, and I hate to leave them, but like I said, I got to worry about my dogs too. So it's but there's a lot of people.
Worry about the dogs. Worry about your pocket. Worry about everything. Like I think for me to replace my whole setup now, I think if I stuck with Garmin, I think I'd be looking at $4,000+
Yeah.
Right now, that's a big hit. That's a big hit for any of us, I wouldn't be able to.
I think we got in business on this. What was this, 700 or $1,000 for 6 collars?
Right around 1,000. We have 5 collars.
5 collars and the transmitter for $1,000.
And that's Ultra.
Yeah, brand new. Like I said, 5 collars, transmitters, chargers, whole 9 yards, and we were in business. And if that had been Garmin, it would have been right at 3,000.
Yeah. And that's massive, eh?
Yeah, it's a big difference. So, and not just that. So, if somebody has one for sale that's a used one, it's even cheaper. I mean, but you don't find very many. I haven't found very many used ones for sale. There's a guy had one the other day, and I missed it. A friend of mine sent it to me, and the guy had already sold it. But it was two of the transmitters and 6 collars for $600.
Yeah, well, that's a great price.
Yeah, I was like, dude, he was like, man, I got a guy that's wanting to come get it this weekend. I was like, I'll come get it right now. I don't want to cut the other guy out, but if he doesn't, I said, you let me know. I'll drive over there and pick it up right now for that price. I mean, have some extra collars,
Oh, you always need them. They cop a hiding out there in the field, so it's definitely worth having a few spare.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it's like over where you are, but I reckon it's only been the last 12 months. I reckon Garmin have probably had anyone nipping at their heels, and that's with them E-Tex and the Dogtra. look, if they advertise, they're not advertising very hard over here.
They're not here either.
And if they did, there's so many like.
Yeah, we don't have it on there.
My phone died.
Yeah, it actually says baying a hog. It doesn't say treat. It says baying hog. And that's even if the dog is still moving some, but not like, even if it's not set still, even if the dog is moving in a small area, it'll say baying a hog.
Or if there's multiple dogs barking together. You can do like custom presets. So depending on the style of hog dog you run, like I have ours set up to where it'll show treat as well, because sometimes some dogs treat occasionally on some things they ought not be, or sometimes they just do.
Yeah.
So you can kind of make it what you want it to.
And what about the unit themselves on the dogs? Are they much alike to the
very similar?
Elfs are a lot smaller.
They're more like the older, like the training collars. They're smaller. They got the rounded edges. They don't have the square edges. So he's got one right there to show you. You can get it off charge. But yeah, that's another thing that I like is they're smaller, and they changed the rubbers different on like that connects the GPS.
I don't know how well you can see.
Oh yeah,
like I mean, it's in the palm of my hand there. It's between a full size and a mini, if you ask me. Now they make a mini size as well, but it's very similar to the same.
Very very similar, yeah.
And another thing I like about the dog truck, now looking at it, is like on a Garmin collar, when they have that strap, they have the flimsier buckle, and they have like the little bitty square keeper. Whereas on these, they have a roller buckle, and they have a big D ring, and then they have a little keeper.
They actually have have a D ring where you can, if you wanted to clip to it.
And that's a strap straight from Dog Trail. We haven't swapped them out because a lot of times we get a Garmin collar, we have to swap.
What about the aerials on them?
It looks like Google Maps.
Is that a standard aerial?
Like, what do you mean, an antenna?
On the the antenna on the collar itself.
Almost everything off of Garmin will work on the handheld. A Garmin antenna will go right on the transmitter.
And they all take the same.
Same antenna, same aerial, same like I said, it's
beautiful.
A lot of it's very similar. It's kind of funny how similar it is, so I don't know, but like I said, we're enjoying it. That's for sure.
I'd enjoy that price.
It's like I said, it's definitely
because for a new TT25, there's $350 plus tax, and like I said, I think those are $265 or $280, something like that. I know they're less than $3. So.
Yeah, I think they're $265.
I want to say it was $265.
Yeah, because I don't think they were too. So I mean,
and their tracking units, they might not be proven as such to a lot of hunters and that, but like I was saying before, I know that the zapping collars, the training zappers I've had for years, they're bulletproof. They are definitely well made, aren't they?
Yeah. What surprised us, or what I guess you would say, is once we started talking about it and how many people are already running it. There were people that I've been knowing for a long time. They were like, "Oh yeah, we run Dog Trail." I was like, "Really?" They're like, "Man, we got tired of Garmin." They said, but a lot of them, they just didn't say nothing. They were like, "Well, a lot of bird hunters used it, and a lot of rabbit hunters, guys that hunt cottontails, run beagle packs and stuff. They were all using it." And I was like, "Well, I don't know." The cell phone was a big deal. I was like, I don't want to deal with that shit. It's easy. Mm-hmm. It's very easy. And the batteries,
you've got, hold up. Yeah, well, that's good too. But I don't know what the deal with the phone is. Everyone's always got a phone on them.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, you can actually record your whole track all day long. Mm-hmm. The whole race.
Yeah. Oh, right.
You can go back and watch how that dog ran that track. See how he jumped, what little moves he makes. There's a lot of good stuff with it that I like. So
if you can connect that app to your phone, I dare say you can just connect it to an iPad or something in your buggy as well.
It's just Bluetooth.
Just have it all set up.
It's just Bluetooth. That's
beautiful.
And then if your devices are compatible, if they're newer and they have the screen sharing, you wouldn't even have to because you can only Bluetooth the handheld to one device at a time, but then you could just screen share it and it would work fine.
Yep.
But once it's in your, we've got 2 different handhelds. And so once we entered them in my phone, even if I haven't used the number 1 handheld, I hadn't used it in 10 hunts and it's got 10 different dogs in it. As soon as I turn it on, I don't have to enter anything. I don't have to swap. I don't have to do that. I just turn it on and it's connected.
It has the memory.
All the dogs are there. We didn't hunt with Ian for several weeks, and we had shared his dogs, or he had shared, got some of our dogs in his, and I talked him into buying the Dogtra, and he turned it on. He said, "Dude, all your dogs are still in mine." I was like, "Yeah."
It won't pop up if they don't pick them up, but if it shows the collars on it, goes, "Hey, I know that one." And they will show you.
Yeah.
There's, like I said, there's a lot of good stuff to it that I like. It's probably not for everybody, but we enjoy it so far, and we've had it 2 years now.
Right at 2 years.
Right at 2, going on 2 years.
Oh yeah, look, so you've given it a good trial, then. That's good to hear.
And then before that, I wouldn't really tell anybody a whole lot. They'd ask, and I'd be like, "Yeah, we like it," but I wouldn't get in depth on it. No, which I did a couple of videos, and I need to do another one to kind of update everybody about it, because that's what we're going to stick with, for unless something else just really comes out that's not that expensive and it has to be better. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to be. So, it's pretty wild. So tell us.
Well, if Dogtra hear this, bloody
I know.
Send me some through. I'll review them for you, mate.
Hey, listen. I don't understand why Dogtra is not jumping on board with hog hunters, because we buy more.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all got shitty dogs, and we got 10 of them. Everybody's buying. They're taking all their money and buying all these collars. They ought to sponsor at least us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just send us just one good collar. I'll be happy with one. They could send you a whole setup and be like, "Here you go, try it out." But I don't know. We might need to get some kind of business proposal drawn up and just send it to them and be like, "Hey, look here." Because I know I've had a lot of people change because of me and my mouth talking shit. They
absolutely.
Over. If we could,
that's one thing I've noticed. Starting this podcast, that it reaches a lot more ears than what you realise.
Yes. Yep. When you have people call you from other countries, other parts of the world, and they send you a message and be like, "Hey man, I listen to you all the time. Thanks. We appreciate what you're doing." That's when it really starts setting in. Well, man, we're making an impact out there. So
definitely.
We try to. Of course, we don't make a bunch of money or nothing doing this. We just enjoy doing it. You know how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if we made a bunch of money doing this, then probably wouldn't be doing a podcast. I'd be out hunting somewhere getting paid.
Yeah.
So tell us a couple of good hunting stories. We always want to hear good hunting stories. Something really good
stories.
Yeah, something pretty wild or something different, whatever.
Well,
and don't start telling no lies either. Be honest.
No,
I just see that. He look at me. He's like, "Oh hell, he knows." I know how pig hunters are. They start stretching it. They get that yarn going.
Hey, we're not fishermen. Fishermen, eh? Well, I've got one. I'll talk about. I wanted to say earlier when we were talking about dogs, when you're sitting there and that dog was laying there, and the pig was laying in the mud, and she was just barking. A lot of years ago, that dog I was talking about, that I could call off pigs and he would sit back in that. Before he was born, it was actually his father I was out hunting with. It was me and my brother-in-law. We had him, old Buddy, and my brother-in-law's dog, Dodge. It was the biggest Balen dog you'd ever see. It was about 55 kilos, this dog. Fantastic nose. And he'd pull up a pig on the run and hang it, but if that pig turned on him, He would not touch it, unless another dog was there, he'd just sit there and deep, big bellow bark on him. And me and my brother-in-law were driving along one night, and old Dodge, he's floated off the back of the ute, and so we pulled up, we heard a hit up, and I pulled the pin on my dog, and we would have taken 2 steps, and the brother-in-law's rolled his ankle like fucking cracker. And he's thrown me up his handpiece and goes, "You're going to have to go out there." And this was the older ones. I don't know, like your 320 handpieces, Garmin 320s and that. If you could pair them, we didn't know how to, so I just ran out holding the 2 handpieces. And my dog was with me. Obviously, you couldn't hear the hit up anymore or the bark of that other dog. And as I was running out, old buddy, he's veered off to the right. I'm thinking, I'm going to go to this other dog. And I would have ran out, would have been about 1 kilometre. And this bloody dog has got this boar about 80 kilos bailed up. It's in the water and he's just sitting there barking. And in the meantime, I'm looking at my collar on my dog, and he's probably 800 metres away from me, and he's treed quarry. I'm like, fuck, this dog won't leave. I'm contemplating should I just run back, and the laziness come off of me. Like, I didn't want to run all the way to Buddy, to run all the way back to this other dog. So I just sort of swam out into the water and come around behind this pig. And as I grabbed the pig by the tail, that dog come in and had a go then, and I finished the pig off. And then I started running back to my dog. And this was a kind of warmer night. And when I rocked up there, I've come across this little bit of bush, and there's a good black and white boar. And he was about the same size as the one we just got. And I just seen him laying there. And going back a lot of years, the headlamps we had back then weren't as good as what we've got now. So I'm sort of trying to focus in. And when I look closer, my dog's, he's laying down. He's wrecked with the boar laying on top of him. They're both just laying there, the boar on top of him, just getting their breath back. As soon as I grabbed the boar by the tail, it's jumped up, and Buddy's jumped up, and both dogs grabbed this pig, and I finished him off. And as I'm walking back to the car, I've lost the other handpiece, because I've got the cradle for mine in my chest, and my brother-in-law's handpiece has gone missing. I'm thinking, where could this be? And like I said, couldn't connect them together or anything like that. So I was sort of having to backtrack. Anyway, looked around for the rest of the night. I couldn't find them. And I just marked where I was. And about a week later, I'd come back out for another hunt. And that water that I went swimming in, I dropped it there. And I reckon for about 15 minutes, I was duck diving and swimming at it, and I found the piece in the water. And it obviously had gone flat, but it never leaked. It kept working after it, charged it up again, never had no damage or anything to it. So, yeah, after talking bad about Garmin, there's a little shout out for him, I guess.
Oh, yeah,
that handpiece was still good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any crazy stories? Can't really think of anything at the moment.
No, it's just kind of everybody does it. I put them on the spot. I'm just like, hey, what? And it's like the same thing.
Yeah.
So from now on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start texting everybody or messaging and be like, listen, we got to have one good story. Think about it.
Yeah. I do the same bloody thing. Really, I've got. I can't really think about much more past that trip I just done last weekend where we got 141 for.
Yeah,
that trip. It was. Yeah, that was.
What was your biggest?
That was full on. The biggest, we left them all in the paddock, but on the trot, I think there would have been one. He would have come close to 90 kilo.
That's pretty good. It's what, 100?
Yeah, the average.
Pounds?
Yeah. Got him off the chickpea stubble, so
yeah,
I had a bloody nice coat on him and that. A lot of them would have been good eating. It was a waste of pig, but no one wants them, so what else are you going to do with them?
Yeah.
But yeah, the average size would have been around that 30, 40 kilo on the trot. So it was good for the younger dogs, and yeah.
Yeah, that
actually that bull Arab that Baden sent over.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about him at all?
That's the one that Cameron Martinez.
Yeah, PJ's got him out there in California.
PJ's Kennels.
Yeah,
He's
been doing good from what I know. I mean, I know the other night they had him out. And he hung a good one. But I don't know much more. That's it.
Yeah, well, the bloke that was taking us hunting last weekend on that block, he has the litter sister to that dog.
Okay.
Unbelievable. I think they're around that 11-month-old now. And, them numbers, consistent numbers, living on that block, that bitch was unbelievable. I'm just doing backflips on the back of the ute. As soon as she got a scent, run on, catch anything. And we were going through some sand ridges where it was really thick. She was very impressive for her age. So hopefully that dog over there's got the same drive as her. I was very impressed with that bitch.
Yeah. I believe he does, from what I've seen, the videos and stuff that I've got. I mean, he's doing the damn deal, he's definitely doing it. So I don't know how strong I don't know how strong their numbers are out there, but I know they have big hogs. They have really, really big hogs. They'll, a lot of 300-pound boars, that'd be 150 kilo and up, that's pretty big.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've got a story for you. One just clicked to me head. Years ago, this was before tracking collars and stuff like that. Just the old dolphin torch on a rope and all the rest of it. I got invited to go for a hunt with a couple other young fellas. At the time, I had a very handy. She was similar breeding actually to what I've got now, but had it was bully mastiff Dane instead of the bully Arab Dane. She was a bit heavier set to dogs I run now. Fantastic nose on her, good honest bitch she was. 34 kilos, I think her working weight was. So, yeah. And these young blokes picked us up. They said, they've been trying to catch a decent pig, been blowing him a lot. So I said, yeah, no worries, I'll come. But I don't want to, I had to work the next day. I said, no mangroves. I don't want to be around any mangroves. And I said, no, it's a good bush block. I went, righto. So we're driving around. We had cane on one side of us and a bit of bush. Well, it looked like a bush where I was. I had a couple of them wonderful Bundaberg rum tinnies in me that you all love over there. And the old bitch, she floats off and starts running through the bush, the scrub there. And I went, oh, this is all right. So we pulled up and I ran through, and this finger of bush wouldn't have been 30 meters. And then on the other side of that was just mud flats for about 300 meters and then mangroves. Oh. And you could see where the pigs had already left the cane and gone into all these mangroves. So we drove as far as we could without getting bogged, and we got to the edge of these mangroves, and I could hear her on a pig. So I started going in there, and one of the mates, the bloke's with me, he goes, I'll come in with you, so give you a bit of hand. I went, no worries. And his dog was sort of trying to walk through and navigate through the mangroves as well. And it started getting that thick where I was probably about 1.5 meters off the ground, just like climbing through it, more so than walking through the mud. When I finally got to as far as I could, it's a local creek system around here full of crocodiles, Murray Creek. I come to it was a narrow area, probably about 20 meters across, and she was on the other side on a pig. And I'm trying to call her back, she wouldn't leave it. And then I heard the pig break, and she's gone deeper in. And I just sit there calling. I didn't want to cross this water because not only have you got full of crocs, it's also got bull sharks and everything else in it. Oh. So while I'm standing there, the mozzies are coming in that heavy. I'm just grabbing big cakes of mud and just rubbing them all around my neck, putting it all in my hair, up my arms, trying to cover up. After, felt like an hour or something, finally the bitch, she comes to the other edge. She's blown the pig. She's come back to us, but she wouldn't. The other side, the embankment was too high. She didn't want to jump in or come across. So she was just standing there. I'm trying to egg her to come over and that. She wouldn't. So I ended up jumping in the water. You wouldn't have done it the age I'm now, but when you're 18, 19-year-old and, you've got that courage with you. I ended up wading across the water there, and the whole time that little dolphin torch, I'm sort of looking around that for a set of eyes coming towards me or anything like that. And that's right, I was shuffling my feet across the mud as well on the bottom because I didn't want to be standing on a stingray or something like that and put a barb in my leg. And I finally got to the other side. She wouldn't, it was too slippery to climb up, and she kept pulling back on me. I couldn't grab her. So I looked down the creek system. I seen it tapered off a bit. So I waded back to the mangroves, climbed through the mangroves, and had to cross again to grab her to pull her back. When I finally got back to me mates, I was in there for 3 hours, and I come out covered in mud, and they loved having a good crack calling me the Mangrove Man. Mangrove Man, come back and
and that's the first thing you said. You did not want to get the mangroves, and that's where you went.
No, that's exactly where we went. And I dying for a bottle of water and that. And they were sitting there waiting that long. They got sick of drinking piss, so they drank all the water, and all that was left was a couple more Rumbos. So unfortunately, that's all I had to drink.
Rumbos, yeah, hell yeah. Well, that's pretty good story though. Y'all got too much shit over there that will bite you. Everything there will bite you or sting you or stick you.
It's definitely the environment you grow up in, because I find it funny. I always hear Americans that say that about Australia, but it's just what we feel is right. And I think to myself, like, you've got the bears, the lions over there, the mountain lions, and everything else. I think to myself, I'd like to go camping with, like to go to Alaska or something like that with them brown bears. Fucking scary.
Yeah, the brown bears definitely are a hold. We've got, there's some cats, and then black bears, and we have honey bears here, which are a very small bear. And you very seldom will you see them where we actually live at, but just to the north of us. I mean, like, drive 2 hours any direction, and you're going to be in the black bears.
Yeah.
But to get brown bears or anything, like you said, you got to get up to Alaska and stuff. But I grew up in another state, and it was all Delta area, and the black bears will scare the shit out of you too if you go camping. Like you said, I woke up, got out, climb out of the tent as a 12-year-old kid, and there's a black bear in the cooler just tearing all your shit up. And what do? I mean, you just you just leave him alone, and but it's also the environment you're raised in. My dad gets up, he's hollering, "Get out of here, you son of a bitch!" He's hollering at the bear, like, and I'm like, "Dude, he's going to eat you." He's like, "Oh, he's not going to bother you. It's a bear." But then again, we've got a few gators here and there, but we try to stay away from anywhere that there's gators. But other than that,
them gators you got over there, I see videos all the time, people swimming with them and that. You're good luck doing that with the salty here.
Yeah,
no way in the world.
Are not like that.
No, they're very aggressive. Very aggressive.
Yeah, like you said, these guys, they jump in there and they swim, they grab them, pick them up under their chin. I'm like, fuck, yeah, y'all do. That's something, I don't know. I'm not doing that shit.
No way. No.
Yeah, I'm not doing that shit. So, but no, that's good stories, man. You got anything else you want to discuss or talk about? We've got about almost 2 hours in.
No, I'm pretty content. I don't know. I haven't listened to all your podcasts. There's a lot of them there.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really start getting into the podcast world and that with Hunter. At the start, I didn't even realize anyone else had podcasts out about hunting with pig dogs and as such. I started looking, and I found it would have been probably end of 2024. I started finding the likes of yous, and there was another one there. I think it was in Australia. That was later on. I think that was more 25. But yeah, there wasn't a great deal, and you're always hearing about the archery and shooting, different things and that. And I was like, I really want to listen to hunting with dogs and like hear about different breeds of dogs and all the rest, not just your bird dogs and I've listened to a lot about with your coons and stuff like that. But I wanted to hear about pigging and that. That's the main reason why I started Chasin Boar Tales here in Australia. It's just something to listen to, and since then, all these other ones are popping up, and it's so good. Like I do a lot of driving, so it's always good to sit back and listen to different episodes, different ways people hunt, and different dogs they love, and everyone's got their best pack in their yard at the time, and no one's got better dogs and all the rest of it, and the banter between hunters, I love it. I love
it can be some bullshit for real.
yeah.
But no, that's it's the same thing. Like when I found out, like you had one, and then there's a couple others that popped up. I was like, good, that's great.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, though, we've had people call us. They're like, "Do you believe these guys are doing a podcast?" I was like, "Shit, I hope so." You know how hard it is for me to listen to one? Well, there wasn't any other ones when we started. Like we started 5 years ago now. 6 years. We've been doing this for like 6 years.
Yeah, that's going strong.
Yeah, so it's like the first couple of years we did, it was just here and there. But we didn't listen. We didn't have nothing to listen to but ourselves. And then Houndsman XP, they started doing a few. So we listen to some
That's
of them.
The one I was thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, but they have a large variety of what they do, and there's not a lot about pig dogging. So it's like, we stayed content on this. We still have other dogs in, and the reason we do that is because we have so many other listeners, and we try to incorporate a little bit of everything. We started out only hog dogs. That's all we were doing.
Yep.
And I was like, we hunt other stuff as well. So, we'll mix it up a little bit. And a lot of it's good tales. It's listening to, like you said, the other guys talk and how their dogs are and how they hunt and all the trash talking and the bullshit. It's a good time, I enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely enjoyable. With this Chasin Boar Tales, when I first started it, I thought, I started just bringing on one every 2 weeks, every fortnight I'd bring one out, and I was just inundated by people. Can you bring out more? Can you try to do one a week? And so I've done one a week, and man, now I've got them. Can you do 2 a week? One a week is more than enough. Between the rest of life and everything else.
Oh yeah, they don't like. A lot of people don't realize this is not all we do. We have to work,
No. Yeah. I wish this was all I could do.
Yeah,
exactly. So, I think the most we ever got up to doing is to try to do 4 or 5. Now it was 2 full lengths, and then basically would have like
some fill-ins.
Yeah, have just like some short segments,
educational stuff in the middle.
So basically, would have like Tech Tuesdays, just go over like new technology stuff, and then like I think it was on Thursday or it might have been on Friday. I don't remember. It would go over like some disease or some wormer or a parasite or just something like that. Just something shorter, 2 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes instead of being the full length.
But we were doing, 3 to 5 a week, and they were like, "We need more." I'm like, "Look, that's it. Like that's all we can do, man. Like that's a lot."
Well, if they need more, jump across to Chasin Boar Tales and have a listen to them.
Hey, and there's a lot of listeners, and that's what I tell them all the time. I'm like, "Look, go listen." And now there's a few that are diehard. We don't listen to nothing else. I'm like, well, why not? Like, go listen to something else. They're like, we get hate mail because we don't put out enough episodes. I'm literally, I get cussed out. Like, I'll get guys call me, you're an asshole, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, like, you need to calm down. First off, stop your shit. And I talk to everybody like that. I think that's why they do it, because I'm just me. And I don't know. I've had people's wives call me and they're like, man, my husband loves listening to y'all. He sits outside drinking beer around the fire listening to y'all. I'm like, he needs to go hunting. He needs to go do something. But no, man, I'm glad you got it going.
Me too. No, it's been fun. It's been real good. I've just February last year it started. So about 16, 18 months, whatever it is. So it's been a great adventure. I've a couple of times there, I've been up late, like come home from work or something. I better get one scheduled in for the following morning when it's due. And I'll be lazy scheduling it in and say it's 9:30 at night. So I'll just change the AM and send it off thinking, what's an extra hour and a half? I've had people text me going, what's going on? They're refreshing Spotify for 8 o'clock, waiting for it to come on. What's going on? You're not having one out this week. I'm going, mate, it'll be there.
Yeah. We get that.
It's unbelievable.
We got a couple.
And not love it. I love it. Thanks for the love, everyone out there. It's fucking unreal.
And it keeps you motivated because you're like, shit, we got to put
absolutely it does.
Like,
got to get on it.
Because there's times where we get so busy and we travel. Like you said, you drive a lot, so we travel and hunt, and then we're working, and then we're doing this, and then we got all the dogs, we got all the properties that we have to maintain. Sometimes there's just not enough hours in the day. There's times where I'll sit in and do podcasts by myself while Nate's taking care of something else. And, everyone's, well, where's Nate? Like, guys. And then the people that come and hunt with us or come and stay a weekend, they understand. They're like, holy shit, this is how y'all do this. I'm like, yeah, we're taking it easy right now. It's busy. We stay busy. But
absolutely.
But it makes you feel good when people are like, hey, what's going on? Why we not got this?
I really appreciate. Absolutely, really appreciate it. It's good. You always expect it. I was expecting to cop a lot of hate letters and messages and carry on and that, but it's all love, really.
Yeah, most of it will be.
It's been fantastic.
It took me till last year to get anybody that was a hater, I guess you'd say, would be an asshole. And it's only been just one or two. And it's just because they're jealous and I kill them with kindness. I don't entertain the arguing or nothing. I'm like, hey, if you need some help with something, let me know and I'll help you. Like I have no reason to argue and fight with you. Like I'm too old for that shit anyway. Now, but I'm gonna talk shit. I'm gonna talk shit about all of them, though. That's what we do.
Yeah.
No, man, we appreciate you taking your time and doing this, and like I said, we'll flip around and we'll do one on yours here in a week or two. That way, we're not all scheduled on top.
Sounds real good.
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
It's been.
Thanks for having me on, fellas. It's been really good. And any of your listeners and that, I'm on Spotify and Instagram as well. Just Chasin Boar Tales on there. Jump over and have a look. I've got a few little videos there. I've got a link there. That links to Rumble. I've got a couple of little videos there. Nothing big. I'm no director or anything like that. It's just a bit of footage I put together with me, my young fella, or whoever else I got with me. Yeah, just give people an idea of what we do.
We'll have to check it out. Yeah, everybody out there, make sure y'all go check it out. This guy hunts nude sometimes too. In his videos, he might have a loincloth on. He might be completely nude. So y'all go check it out.
Definitely check it out.
Hey, Adrian, we appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, sir.
No worries. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you.
See you, mate.
All right.
Hope you enjoyed that episode. If there's anything or anyone you'd like to hear on the podcast, or if you'd like to come hunt with us, don't hesitate to contact us at dixiedoggers01@gmail.com.